Well, I was gonna drop it to Tracy, find out how did you get involved with assisted living locators? Because it's not one of those things that I would have gone, hey, here's a business I think I'll go into. So what?
Yeah, and I'll keep this my kind of short as I can. But I was an advocate and caretaker for both my Mima when she moved here and going back and forth for my parents in California. And actually, 20 plus years ago, I was doing what I actually do now for my Mima when she moved here. I was out hitting Plano streets trying to find the best assisted living location for my grandma. So, with no clue what I was doing, absolutely no clue, but I knew my Mima. And then going through all of that and end of life with my folks, especially my mom, because I was flying back and forth so much, I really thought I was going to go into hospice because what those hospice folks did for me and my family,
Yeah,
especially my mom during that time, I'm like, I want to be that. I
they're
want
good
to
people.
give that to families because it was amazing. And after going through a huge litigation with one of those family members that wasn't quite on board in the financial planning with my folks, I learned a lot through that litigation after mom passed. And this kind of just fell in our laps. A franchise coach reached out to my husband, did in-depth interview with us, and heard my little story about hospice and senior care and all that, and came back with 5 different franchises, and this was one of them. And it basically it pulled my heartstrings, and none of the other ones mattered. So that's how I got into it, and I have really morphed into this 100%. This is where I'm supposed to be, and at the right time in my life to be able to do it with the experience that I had taking care of my folks, going through the legal things that go on when not everything's covered. And yeah, it's a very, very rewarding and incredible. I love helping these families because I was there. I know how hard it is.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's very, very rewarding and fruitful in
yeah.
a hard.
Amy's mom and dad moved down to Texas when from Chicago, and they ended up loving it. Now she did not like that Roger Starbuck guy, but that's what she always called him was Roger Starbuck because he always ended up beating her bears at some point in time.
That's
But
so.
but they loved the weather here. They ended up living with us for a while, and then they got Dad's health got a little bit better after he got some heart surgery, and they ended up getting their own place. But we were taking care of them pretty much, and man, it is
Good.
so important. It's Amy even took a leave of absence and moved in with her dad. I give her a hard time saying she left me for another guy, but man, I think I love that guy as much as she did. But um, she moved in with him and took care of him and until he died, and it was just probably the best thing in in her life was to be able to take care of her daddy. And I guess, I'm looking at both of y'all there. The reason she could do that is because there was a financial plan in place.
Yeah.
I mean, she was under the impression that we had to have her income or we wouldn't make it, and she discovered that she could take that leave of absence, and she never went back.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,